Om Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kansachanuramardhanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Bande Jagadgurum. Om. Adorations to Lord Krishna, the preceptor of the universe, destroyer of the forces of darkness, and bestower of immortality. Srimad Bhagavad Gita, in chapter 6, known as Atma Sanjam Yoga. And what is highlighted is yoga of meditation. Verse number 23. Tam vidyad dukkha sanyoga vyogam yoga sanyitam sanishchayena yoktavyo yogo nirvinna chetasa. It's a profound statement. Yoga should be known as the state wherein there is total separation from contact with pain. This yoga should be practiced with firmness and with an unswerving heart. It's the definition of yoga. First point to understand, soul is always associated with pain, not knowingly. Even what you think you are enjoying it, you are associated with pain. And you follow the formula, no gain without pain. So pain rather is a beneficial factor. It gives you gain. But if you are spiritually healthy, you cannot reconcile with pain, even in the slightest measure. To understand that point, it doesn't mean that every little pain will make you jump around and make you lose your patience. But what you are referring to, pain in a broader way to understand what pain is. If you have not attained enlightenment or not moving towards enlightenment, you are reconciling with pain to such an extent that you are surrounded by pain and you don't know it. People who are addicts, they are surrounded by drunken people and drinking more and more. And they are laughing. But from a healthy point of view, they are sinking in misery. This is a broad view. All Hindu scriptures and in fact all religions are focused on ending pain. But first understand what is pain. 4 points are called Chatvari Arya Satyani, 4 noble truths. First truth is pain. All that you experience in the world is through your brain and nervous system. So, no matter whatever you secure, your security lies as long as you are living with this in the body, with brain, nervous system. The moment this drops away, the moment you kick the bucket, all that you have gained is not for you, that's for your people around you. This point has to be well understood. Therefore, your goal is to become free of the cycle of birth and death. And this point is brought out in Raj Yoga. Sarvam dukam vivekina. If you develop purity of intellect, your understanding is most important aspect of your personality. That understanding commences with your conscience. Most people have no conscience because of dullness of the mind. As you begin to develop spiritual progress, conscience is awakened. And when conscience is awakened, you begin to understand the result of what you are experiencing, where you are being led to. To give you more precise, let me first enumerate the 4 points. The pain. Raj Yoga terms it heya. There is cause for pain. Now turn your attention to what are the causes. And then there are methods of removing pain. And the final, where pain terminates. Heya, heya hetu, hanopaya, and han. These are Sanskrit terms. They're called 4 noble truths. And if you are following this truth, leading yourself to the end of pain, then you are real Arya. Otherwise, you are just a human being with many other beings tumbling through the world process. To be an Arya, you need to distance pain from yourself completely. But what does that imply? One needs to follow the path of Ashtanga Yoga, the 8 limbs of yoga, to attain Samadhi. Samadhi, 2 ways your pain seems to subside, go to sleep. But sleep is not the answer. Though sleep gives you a subtle understanding that no matter how painful you are in a terrible situation, that the essential part within you is untouched by pain. So figure out you are not what you think you are. What you think you are, that is involved with all practical realities, that goes away the moment you are in deep sleep. And you are not missing that. That gives you the indication where the pain should end. How can you hold on to revelation of who am I? Following the path of yoga, dharana, dhyan, samadhi, when you practice concentration, meditation, and samadhi. But when you are practicing it, there develops another predicament. Each time you go into samadhi or even into the state of dharana, concentration, pain moves away. But then what happens when you come back to the practical reality? So there is difference between your entering samadhi and coming out of samadhi and handling the world. Now, subtle point behind it. Your practice of samadhi should give you subtle insight into how to handle your practical world. Because practical world is not without purpose. Practical world has a greater purpose than your practicing meditation. The purpose is meditation opens your mind to the theory. What is the reality that's easy to understand? And the mind is relaxed, sattvic. And then you can easily enter into the mind. I'm one with God. God is everywhere. So I'm everywhere. And it is power. It is not being underestimated. It is perfectly in order. But only thing, don't stay satisfied with your practice of yoga. Don't stay satisfied with your practice of concentration, meditation, and samadhi. Though you will progress, but your progress will not be, there will be always a limited, restricted type of success. But that success will become more dynamic if your practical world, you face, if you face it with the spirit of karma yoga, where you are focused on how can I utilize my energy along the serve, love, meditate, this movement, how to allow the energy to be of service to yourself, to others, how to live your life with the mantra of 3 Da. Dhamma, controlling the mind and senses. That's the advanced stage. Dana, how to be charitable. People think charity in the terms of money only. But charity has very broad implication. When you, even in your family, you love your son, daughter, but you don't open your heart to understand their heart. You are lacking charity. I'm giving a very subtle point to understand. If you have charity in your heart, You suddenly do not jump to a conclusion that someone is a stupid fool simply because someone says, I don't believe in God. I'm giving very simple points. Understand, open, deeper understanding that you cannot judge people. You have gone through your turmoils yourself countless times. And you have stayed with those turmoils and would have looked around to look at people who could have understood you. And now you are in the same situation, looking around, and you are unable to open your heart to understand others. If the understanding does not develop, your relationship remains a difficult ship. A risky ship. Literally, the statement has a kind of a special message to your mind. When we say yoga, the Gita is defined it, yoga is viyoga. Yoga is union, but real yoga is separation. Separation from the mindset that creates all miseries. And that separation should be permanent. At the same time, simple attitude towards pain, as you develop deeper insight into the purpose of life, pain based on body and mind. From practical point of view, exercise your self-effort. Leave no stone unturned. Whatever you want to treat, even just like you are cooking, making tea, but leave no stone unturned. Attend to every little detail in it. So attend to every little detail in your life, everything you do. So, skill in action, dexterity, that goes on increasing as you become spiritually involved. If that is lacking because you are becoming spiritual, then you are going in a wrong way. Now, but while you are doing your self-effort, another point has to enter: patience and a positive view of life. Pain is not reality. It will pass away. It has a purpose. Each time you overcome a pain, you find yourself stronger than before, if you have overcome it in a spiritual way. Coming back to simple points, that pain In order to understand pain, understand the whole cycle. Source of all pain is ignorance, avidya. Led by avidya, your unconscious, your chitta, your whole mental set maintains subtle impressions, samskaras. Those samskaras are the basis of your world experience. Not only experience in this life, from life to life. So that was sanchit karma. There's so much accumulated samskaras that they cannot end in a mathematical way. They can be burnt up in a spiritual way, but not in a mathematical way. You cannot exhaust your samskara. Samskaras are the seeds of the world process. Out of the samskaras, vasanas arise. Vasanas are like sprouts. Seeds can be lot of seeds buried so beyond that you don't even know it. But in every life, a portion, a little of those seeds come up and are effective in every embodiment. That portion becomes your prarabdha karma. Prarabdha karma has given you a life, a sketch of your life. Just like a writer writes a big volume, but in the beginning creates a sketch of all that he is going to write. And as you start, a writer may start with the idea, I will end up with tragedy. But led by satsanga, suddenly his mind gets inspired to change the plot, to have a different meaning. So, a few chapters he wrote in a tragic way, but then all that he begins to gear it to a very positive end. So just like a writer is free to change his plot, every soul is free from early stage. Your already plot has been created by your karmic movement, and you have done it unawares. But now, as your awareness develops what should be the purpose of your life, now you begin to change the plot. Adversity comes with the idea of putting your mind in deep distress. But now you change the plot. Adversity comes to put in your mind in deep devotion. To run through satsanga. To adopt sadhana in daily life. So now the same adversity becomes a source of many good things. Now we will understand that you don't have to wait for prosperity to make you really stable within yourself. No matter what comes according to your karma, adversity comes, you can use it in a way it is beneficial. Prosperity comes and you will use it in a way it's beneficial. Adversity gives you patience, internal firmness, draws you to God for help. Prosperity allows your mind to enjoy happiness. But the type of happiness you enjoy, you are utilizing prosperity. Normally when prosperity comes, people become vain-headed, empty-headed. Their ego swells up. That you should avoid. If that happens, your prosperity is really bigger adversity than you understand. But utilize your prosperity to be really spiritually enriched. Now you are in a position to not only enjoy your life, but to share it with others. You are in a position to organize your time and to become more involved with your sadhana. Because you have nothing to complain against. Prosperity, you are enjoying. You are enjoying it, then follow your sadhana. And do meditation, etc., all in a rhythmic way. All 4 yogas in daily life. Enjoy doing your action in the spirit of karma yoga. Enjoy dealing with your feelings and feelings of others. Behind that, understand there is a subtle divine plan to discover who is loved by you. Real source of love, God. So you are loving God within yourself. And when you are loving others, the core of that love is God. God becomes the basis to love and to be loved. To love and to be loved, that creates cozy world. But behind that coziness, God is the source. So in every situation of that feeling of being satisfied, loving satisfaction, understand a touch of God has come. Bhavana Shuddhi becomes your highlight. How can you allow feelings and the sentiments carry the aroma of God's love? Feelings and sentiments, they are like petals, but petals of wildflowers. But they, when God becomes inspirer of your feelings and bhakti is entering, they become like lotus petals, most wonderful petals. And sankalpa of your mind. The mind always deals with what am I lacking, what I should do. Mind is always creating a plan of activity. You wake up in the morning and now you have a plan of activity. That state of mind that has created is called sankalpa. You are doing a sankalpa. Let me give you the cycle. So ignorance is the basis. Out of ignorance comes samskaras. Out of samskaras come vasanas. Vasanas mean now you are aware. Samskara level, you are not aware. Vasana level, you are not fully aware, but you will smell it. What is where you want to go. Vasana gives you a subtle, subconscious awareness. But out of vasanas there arise vrittis, thought waves. Now vasana becomes the setting for your project. First stage of project, vrittis. Little thoughts come. I will go to Hawaii. No, I will go to Switzerland. No. Sankalpa, vikalpa. Now, vritti, at vritti stage, your ego plays a great part. See, ego is the one blending with vritti, is trying to define the sankalpa. If ego is tamasic, you will not be using your vritti to turn into a good sankalpa. If ego is sattvic, you will allow the sankalpa movement that is starting as vritti, little thought waves. The thought waves, you can manipulate it easily. But when thought waves have become desire, thought waves blending with your ego, when ego is involved with your thought wave, now vritti becomes desire. The difference is just like you come into a house and you are seeing a little spark in the corner of the house. That's vritti stage. If we ignore it, that spark is fire. It will soon consume your fire, the house. If you are in a more divinely organized way, the moment you see a wrong vritti coming, you will extinguish. You don't wait. You go on extinguishing any ill habit. But if you don't do so, then vritti turns into desire. Early state of desire, you can control it. But when you allow it to stay, dhyayato vishayan punsa sangasteshu pajayate. When you are allowing it to stay with your desire, the desire comes again and again in your mind. And you don't find anything negative about it, you sustain it. You are entertained by it. But then later you are not entertained by it, it becomes a driving force. The desire becomes trishna, craving. Craving leads you to turn to good actions, bad actions. Cravings direct you to different types of activities, karmas. And karmas in turn lead you to experience the result of karma, karma phal, pain and pleasure. And karma phal leads to formation of samskaras. So we started with samskaras, ended with samskaras, the whole cycle. This whole cycle can be broken at the vritti level, as vasana is bringing out certain thought waves. This becomes possible if you are practicing sadhana, especially your meditation, japa, surrender to God. Then you automatically, you don't really plan, but nature plans for you. Your mind becomes calm. And in that calmness, you can evaluate where is your desire asking you to go. And the moment that happens, by your sensitivity, you correct it. You simply say, put your nose out. Just tap your finger to the nose of your desire. If you do, a profounder desire develops in your heart. That's aspiration. Aspiration for real happiness. And if you follow that process, you are bringing craving, the thirst, the flame of craving will become extinguished. Nirvana. So all that is implied in understanding how to separate yourself from pain. Yogo nirvinna chetasa. Chitta becomes akhin. If you have come to that maturity of pursuing good sankalpa and not going after negative sankalpa. Good sankalpa is sankalpa will to be devoted to God, will to attain liberation, will to have shakti, bhakti, mukti, will to have a strength not to be defeated by malas, gross impurities, will to have bhakti that allows your battle to become joyous. Same battle becomes saras. You are always battling. Your body is battling. But the battling process can be a baffling process. And it can be saras process, joyous. A mango is battling with blossoms, but there is joyous. The blossoms are going to be fruits. The fruits are battling. They are sour, but they will become sweet. So, patience begins to enter your personality. Your chitta, the unconscious set that sustained all these pain, all this, all through your life, chitta is the one holding on to all the story of bondage and release. Now you are developing the chitta in an enlightened state. The enlightened chitta does not reject all this, holds it, but akin, untouched by it. The sky holds all the clouds, has no contradiction, no disharmony towards any cloud. But one thing, nothing can touch it. Developing that type of mind, that's akin state. You don't have to go far and wide to learn these. Go look at children, 2-year-old, 1-year-old. How easily they relax their mind. And when you hold them, your eyes wink many times, but baby's eyes don't. They have success in thought. Just a short time before, baby was agitated and crying, etc. But now all that, even tears are still there. But now her whole thing has changed. How cute. Only difference is the baby cannot hold on to that. That state is coming in an instinctive way. You have to reach that state in a progressive way. From childish to childlike. Childish state, it is instinctive. Childlike is a grown-up state. But never forget that child. That state is your guru. No matter how situations are, you are in the arms of the mother. Don't wink too much. Relax. Don't hold on to the previous bitterness. Smile. All these are methods to keep your chitta akin. Another method, of the more precise methods are satsanga, etc. But you are not always in recognized satsanga set, but come into broader concept of sankalpa. The nature provides you lots of satsanga. Sit by the ocean, look at the ocean. How many things are going on in the ocean? Countless. Is ocean complaining? Every wave is upset. So let your mind become like ocean-like. Stay a baby, childlike. And understand you are in the arms of the mother. God who is full, absolute, full of bliss. So allow this to enter your mind again and again. Instead of horrified by your situation. And on that basis, you develop patience. Sankalpa prabhavan kamans tyaktva sarvana sheshata manasayvendriya gramam vinyamya samantataha. Yogi should renounce all desires that are born of egoistic will and should restrain these senses completely by the mind. This is the project of Raj Yoga. To move away from all asat sankalpa, all types of will that is going after worldly illusions, and developing a will to get out of it, and finally, in profound way, profound will to attain liberation, called Dhruva Sankalpa. And that has scriptures illustrated in the form of Bhishma. Bhishma created a powerful sankalpa. He will not marry, and he received the boon of Ichha Mrityu, that he will die according to his own will. Dying according to your will, people use it again in a foxy way. How wonderful. I will decide when I will have to die. But when you understand that you don't have your will, God's will, if you have attained, your sankalpa is to be united with God. If you are united with God, firstly, death is a reality from the point of view of conditioned mind. Death is not a reality for enlightened mind. For enlightenment mind, all is Brahman. When you are dreaming, in your dream, any type of injury or death of people or facing death of yourself seems reality. But as long as dream lasts, if you are wise, the idea, hold on to the dream personality and I will die when I want. No, you are ready to step out of the dream no matter whatever time. For the masses to understand in their own way, sages have brought out that if you come to that state, you can die according to your own will, so you can go on living as long as you want. But the idea is, you are not bothered by dying. You are not bothered by aging, dying, aging, etc. That we look at a bulb giving light. That bulb that is giving light is perishable. And with the light that is coming through it is not the reality. But when the bulb realizes the light in me is the light of the sun, the bulb can vanish, break up any time. The eye in the bulb that was shining in such limit, that eye has become the sun. All these subtle points to understand. And with this, we conclude. I'm detailing upon verses because I have no rush. Om त्र्यंबकम यजामहे सुगंधिम पुष्टिवर्धनम उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनान् मृत्योर्मुक्ष्यमामृतात्। सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः, सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः, सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु, मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्। ओम शांति शांति।